What if we were always ready in life? That's what we're going to talk about today. Hi, this is Jill from the Northwoods talking about life issues, one small step at a time. There's a lot of careers out there that you can't just be prepared at the drop of a hat. Yet many of us who either are at home or at work or at school prepare just as we're ready to do something. I was that person who stayed up late the night before a paper was due and got it done. My best friend and current best friend was that person who got things done early. And here's the deep dark secret: it's the same amount of work whether you get things done early or you get things done late. It's just a matter of how much stress you're going to have in your life. But there's a lot of people who don't have those kinds of choices in life. Imagine if a firefighter or an ambulance driver got ready just as they heard about an emergency. Oh, wait, someone's having a heart attack? Hold on, let me go find the defibrillator. Or, well, it's not charged right now. I really should go charge it up. We'll be there in just a moment. We are grateful in our lives for so many people who ensure that every piece of equipment is always in place, that routines are followed, that checklists are followed every moment of the day. And it's not about speed, and it's not just about precision. It's about all of that. It is about not creating a mistake that costs somebody their lives just because they weren't ready. Most of us don't live in that situation. Or think about pilots and airplanes and crews. If they didn't go through their checklist every time, wouldn't you be a little worried about that airplane if knowing that they go through a checklist, but not the time you flew? They're pretty sure it's fine. But staying ready means not only that you're prepared, not only that you don't put things at risk, but you start getting a muscle memory about things. You're able to stay calm. And if something does come up in your life, whether this is a work thing or a home thing, you're good. You're ready. And the stress that whatever that thing is might cost you, you have the bandwidth now to deal with that thing instead of dealing with everything. Constant training, constantly being ready, and being prepared. Doctors and surgeons. I mean, I could go on career after time. Imagine if you were to go see an orchestra or a band you like, and they just didn't really have time to practice, and they just sort of pulled it together right before they stepped on stage. You wouldn't feel like this whole situation was for you or was worth the money. It's effortless to the audience when you're prepared, and it's effortless to us when we also prepared. So if we stay ready, we never have to get ready. That's it. The military has a motto: train how you fight. Drills are repetitions until they're automatic. We know exactly what it is we need to do in countless scenarios, regardless of what's going to happen, because the one time they need it, lives depend on it. Security of the country depends on it, right? So there's all sorts of places where preparation is everything, and staying prepared means that there's going to be a flawless situation. I mean, heck, we even see that with brand new parents, right? People who are about to give birth. They have their bags packed. They know the phone numbers they need to call. They know the order they're going to do something that they need to do. And a lot of times they will do drills to say, pretend baby time. And then they grab everything, get in the car, and pretend to go, or maybe even pretend to drive to the hospital, or actually drive to the hospital. The idea is that we're going to prepare. This is so important. We know our brains are going to be scrambled when this actually happens. Let's just make sure that we are prepared and ready to do it right then. So that's the idea behind it. And strangely enough, this was a lesson that was sort of lost on me when I was in college. I was very good at one thing at a time, right before it was due. Like I said, getting a paper done, getting everything done. And then I felt some sort of like, woohoo, look at me at the nick of the moment, getting in there and getting it done. However, it meant that there was chaos. It meant that I had some very late nights where I didn't get very much sleep. And it happened with drama, always involved. I thought I was going to have this book. The book didn't get returned to the library. What am I going to do my paper on? And now I don't have the time or the bandwidth to do the thing. So that's the idea, is that when you get ahead of time, you get ready for things, you are prepared for whatever's going to happen. You don't get edgy, paranoid, dramatic, upset worried about things. And now if you don't do those things, you won't have the built-in habits, you won't have everything ready to go. Now, for me, I'm not in college anymore, but I do prepare for work things because I know that I'm going to have to do X, Y, and Z at this particular time. Why wait till the last minute when it's going to be stressful for me? Or let's say that I was supposed to prepare for this document that I hand off to my boss on the 14th of every month. But for whatever reason, I'm going out of town. Can you get that to me on the 10th of the month? If you don't get prepared or know what you're going to talk about, or maybe do a document. I have a status report that I have to do with my boss every week. When something new comes up, I do a new thing, I fill in the details. I edit it as I go, and so then when it's time to send it out, it's ready to go, and I didn't forget, "Oh, yeah, that person did call me and ask me for that." I you know, I forgot about that. So what happens is when we're not ready, we miss opportunities. Maybe something amazing was going to happen and you can't go because you're not prepared. Or even, oh, let me say these podcasts. I am prepared for these podcasts. I have a Notion database where I know all the topics, what date they're going to come out, and I'm prepared for this. Because if someone asked me, "Hey, Jill, you want to go camping this week? Or can you take off tonight and do something else?" I can look at my schedule and say, "Oh, yeah, I have a lot of bandwidth in here." So I don't miss opportunities. Again, think about the extra stress. I mean, imagine if you were like, I'm hoping to get someone in to redo the floors of my house. But if I don't clean the house and I don't get the stuff out of the way, I have a treadmill downstairs that I want to get upstairs into my gym. But if I don't start working towards that and doing those kinds of things, then either I'm going to be stressed out when that person finally says, "Oh, I have time. I can come and start sanding down your floors." So maybe I would miss that opportunity of that person coming because I'm not ready. Or maybe I'm going to stress myself out getting ready and having stress about it. And it damages your own confidence. You don't know what's coming next. And then you get that sinking feeling, maybe even a little bit depressed or sad that you got caught off guard, that you're unorganized and you're unprepared. And now you lost whatever opportunity it is. And most of the time, getting ready under pressure makes us worse, makes us so that we don't dot every I, we don't know what we're going to do, and we end up paying a price both inside of our hearts and outside by not doing a very good job. And think about it like this too, that if you know, well, I guess you don't really know. So I had surgery at one point in my life, and when the doctors asked me, or the nurses asked me, "Well, do you have someone at home who can take care of you while you recover?" Well, if I didn't clean my house and I wasn't very well organized and I didn't have the food lined up that I was going to need to eat, then I was going to maybe potentially have someone come in for home health, and my house would be a disaster. The food would be all over the place and I wouldn't be prepared for that. There are emergencies too that may happen in your life where someone has to come into your house, someone has to help you with something. Maybe you lose the access to your car for a little bit. And if you're not prepared and you're not organized to do something, you might have to turn down help that, a doctor or surgery requires you to have that now you're not prepared to take. So then the question is how do we actually stay ready without getting overwhelmed ourselves? And so the first part is building rituals in place instead of resolution. Instead of saying, I always have to be prepared for everything, instead set up repeatable actions. Maybe you have packed bags. Now, I have a couple of what I call go bags for various situations. I have a go bag in case my friend says, we're going out bird watching. It has all my cameras, my batteries are all charged up, the cards are ready to go. Everything is nice and neat and organized. I put these 3 bags in my car and off I go. Camping. I have 3 camping bins that all I have to do is throw them into my car and I can go camping at the drop of a hat. But even let's just say it's about keeping this house clean because maybe, someday I'm going to fall down the stairs that are right there and someone is going to have to come and do home health with me because now I can't get up and down the stairs, right? The house is a mess. It's really in a disastrous situation. And instead of me, like I said, trying to rush while I'm injured to get this house ready for someone to come in here. I'm going to stay ready, and the house is always ready to go. It's the same amount of work to clean your house for an emergency situation as it is to clean the house ahead of time and just keep it clean. So if you always stay ready, you never have to get ready. I think about too, like this situation where there's my basement. I'm redoing all the shelves in my basement, and so it's chaos. And the electric company came and said, "Oh, we're installing new meters in your gas and electric situation. You have to have someone come over and do that." And suddenly I'm like, "Oh no, this place is chaos in the basement. I really meant to have this done by now." And because it's ill prepared, it's not working. So instead of that resolution of getting the basement clean, I just have a ritual where maybe every Saturday night I put things away back on the shelves in my basement so the basement's always ready. What if I have to have a repair person come down there, basement ready? So we always want to keep that. And so start thinking about, repeatable actions and habits that you can do so that you're always ready, like packing your gym bag, like packing your camping trunks, like packing a suitcase. Before, I used to travel for work, and I used to get called out on emergency trips all the time. Customer called, we're in bad shape, we need some immediate help. Jill, can you fly out on Monday morning, first thing, 6:00? I always had a packed suitcase because it happened to me enough. So every time I created this ritual that when I unpacked my suitcase, I got back from a trip, wash everything, clean everything, repack my suitcase. And then I had a formula in place that was how many shirts and how many pants and everything else I put in the bag. It was like how many days, times 1 plus 1, so I always had an extra everything. Automate whatever you can, especially when it comes to things like bills. Why sit there and think about when I'm going to sit down and pay my bills if I can automate them and have them always happen? Or think about even this on the podcast. If I can have a little bit of bandwidth on this podcast and get a little bit farther ahead, I have software that will schedule the podcast to release on a certain date. YouTube releases videos on a certain date. If I find myself behind, that's on me. But if I can automate it, if I can schedule it, it can happen with or without me. And then the other idea is, I think the idea that Scotty from Star Trek came up, always have buffers. Everything is going to take you a little bit longer, cost a little bit more money than what you think it will. And so if you always have time, a little bit of time available for you to do podcasting or whatever it is you're going to do, add in a little bit extra because something is going to go wrong. Something's not going to go your way. Something might happen. So always have a little bit of buffer built into there. And if you don't end up meeting the buffer, then you're done that much earlier and you can sit down and have some popcorn. The other part of it is that you want to sharpen your skills all the time. It's not like you want to cram for an exam or you want to practice a skill that you have to have. Instead, you want to always be somewhere where you're ready to go based on your own knowledge too. So think about it in case of where I have certain things that I have to do every week at work. Wouldn't it be nice if I practiced my skills so that I was better at it? So that even one thing is not even just necessarily a skill. I had a spreadsheet I just absolutely hated, but I was using it over week after week. It cost me a lot of time to deal with it. I created my own spreadsheet. That allowed me to get things done a lot faster. So staying ready is not just about a lifestyle or a one-time effort. It's about making you feel prepared, but making it feel natural, automatic, and light and easy so it doesn't feel like pressure. Everything is ready to go at every minute. And it can't be everything, but at most things that go in life. My emergency trip, the work I have to do that I know I'm going to have to do at the end of this week, or keeping the house just basically clean enough that if I fell down the stairs and I had to have someone from home health come in here and help me manage for a little bit, I'm ready. It's not a problem. But the panic comes in when we do that. But there are some principles involved that, you can do is, first of all, think, like I said, about systems, not one-on-one. You always pack your bag. You keep a suitcase done, but I always have a system where I pack it immediately after I do the laundry for it. go through the toiletry bag, charge all the chargeable things, everything's ready to go. Systems will help you get ready. That's how pilots do it, right? Again, there's a checklist in place, a set of checklists that you go through and you know step by step, I got everything done that I need to do. The second part is use the 2-minute prep rule. So if something takes, and this is just in general, less than 2 minutes for you to do or prepare in advance, just do it. Setting out clothes for tomorrow. I do that for my gym every day. Fill up the bottles of water for my gym. And they're always in the refrigerator ready to go. And I know which color mug I need to take for that particular day. The keys go in the same place. The devices get charged at a certain time. These tiny preparations feel kind of rote. And I used to think of myself, I'm a free spirit. I can do what I want when I want to do it. But the lesson I learned out of all of it was me being a free spirit was costing me things not getting done, me forgetting to do things. Again, the third step is to build a little buffer, leave a little earlier than you need to, have a little extra emergency money that you didn't expect to have. And emergency budgeting means energy too. You're ready to go. You're rested. Your brain is there. You can't feel ready and you can't feel good about things when you're just depleted of energy. So think about that: time, money, and energy. Those are the things that you're going to want to have a little buffer on so that you can do whatever it is you're trying to do. And then the next step is to practice so much that everything is muscle memory. Think about trainers or not trainers, athletes, right? They do free shots so many times that it becomes muscle memory. A musician will do scales so that it becomes muscle memory. They know these things are in place. But the same thing might be true for you too. I remember when I first started traveling, I didn't really know. I knew where the airport was, but I wasn't very good at it. I took some time to drive out to the airport, come out with my favorite way to go, and made that a habit. It became important because there were some flights I had at 5 o'clock in the morning. I am not all here at 5 in the morning, but if I knew that way, like the back of my hand, I could drive to the airport without using a number of brain cells on me. But, think of too that my bird watching bag is in this same spot every time. All I have to do is grab these 2 bags of bird watching bags, put them in the car, grab my 2 water bottles, put them in the car. I can go, even if it's very early in the morning. Know where everything is, know where your chargers are. Like I said, I have go bags, but I also have like a laptop bag. Has every cable I need and every charger I need, even for my watch if for some reason my watch were to go down. So I know exactly where they are and I'm there. The next step is that you want to anticipate what may happen to you, but don't become obsessed with it. To kind of take maybe the first, 3 to 4 likely scenarios out of the surprise world. Bird watching, camping, a light emergency in this house, I'm ready for all of them. And if something were to happen, I know what to do and where to go. Even in a case of a grand emergency, like there was something like a fire or something drastic around here, I have a go bag all set up, which is also my travel bag that I can just grab and go. It has everything I need for me. Back when I had cats, it had everything to do with cats. It had batteries and flashlights. And my friends and I have a place that if something catastrophic were to happen where we live, because we live pretty close together, we know where to meet in order to catch up with each other. And that seems a little catastrophic, but go for the likely things. What are the kind of, like I said, 3 to 4 most likely things that may happen in your life? If you're healthy and fairly young, then, probably someone coming in from home health is not going to be an issue. But if you've had some health issues and you could see a person having to come in and help you out with some sort of health catastrophe, pretty likely. Or again, if someone needed to come into your house to, take care of your pet while you go camping, everything is there available and set out for them. But keep in mind that you're just going to prepare for likely things, and that may just be an extra jacket, some gloves in the car. I have a cold kit in my car. I live in the North Woods, and if you get caught in a nasty storm, everything is in my car ready for me to use in case I had to shovel myself out gloves, hats, everything like that. A little extra cash, a couple extra batteries, everything's ready to go. And don't get yourself into anxiety thinking that you have to think about everything, but instead think about kind of the most likely things. You're trying to give yourself calm, not give yourself anxiety. And then reflect on it from time to time. At the end of the week, go over your readiness review. Think about, what am I ready for? What am I not ready for? What's going to happen in the next month? Think about it this way. It's going to snow probably within the next month or so here. Do I have my road salt for my driveway? Do I have gasoline for the snowblower? Is the snowblower in place to go? The idea is that I'm going to review likely scenarios about this house. Now, in summertime, not likely going to snow, not prepared for it. But once we start getting into September, October, prepared for snow. Is there a way I could prepare a little bit better? Don't let mistakes turn into lessons in life, Keep improving yourself and keep improving your readiness. And then, create kind of a mind shift in your head. Readiness is not about stress. It's not about worrying about things. It's instead being kind to your future self, taking a small step to make your tomorrow a smoother day. And if you do that, your life will go just a little bit more easily. And then you'll be able to go and, I don't know, just not worry about things that are either going to commonly happen, things that might happen that would be very stressful if they did. And instead, you think about, like I said, just being kind to yourself, not hyper vigilant or not, ever staying awake so that you're ready, but instead calm readiness so that you have a system in place to know that whatever scenario comes up in your future, you're ready. And so whatever scenario happens in your future, you can sleep better. You can relax a little bit better, knowing that your bag is packed, your gym clothes are already in a bag, your car has gas, your calendar has space for a little bit of buffer and a little bit about the unexpected. It's freedom, not pressure, to be a little ahead of time. So I appreciate you listening. If you have anything to say to me, I would love to hear from it. Again, I'm Jill from the North Woods. You can put comments in the channel here. You can send me an email at jill@startwithsmallsteps.com. I'd love to hear from you. And think about, I guess, in this week, one repeatable, easy step that you could take that would make something that could be potentially stressful a little bit easier. Prevent you from scrambling, prevent you from having to walk around in a daze early in the morning when you'd forget something, or be a little bit more prepared for finances, work project, or something like that. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.